All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of David's Saturday Night Sit Back. Tonight, sitting with me, I got Dylan Kramer.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man. Me and Dylan met while I was in the gym one day, and I couldn't get my workout going. I was feeling low on energy, low on motivation. I'm scrolling through my iPhone trying to think, do I want to listen to
Find some music.
rock, rap? I had no idea. And then I look up, and there's just this mini Greek god of a man in front of me. And so I asked him, he was in between sets, I was in between sets. I tapped him on the shoulder, almost broke my finger doing it. So I asked, hey man, what are you listening to? And you told me...
It was some Playboy Cardi remix. I think it was XTC.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was ecstasy is
Yeah,
what I called it.
ecstasy, yeah.
It's like a little play on words
A little bit,
and letters
yeah.
all at the same time. Anyways, Dylan, and I found out since then, he is only 15 years old. He's going to be 16 in how many days?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you, my
Thank you.
friend. Dylan Kramer, a.k.a. Footless Hobo. Let's see. Dylan is a power lifter, a track runner. He's very active in the gym. He reads. I've even learned that he starts his day off with some meditation and journaling. And regardless of his age, dude, you inspire me to be a better version myself. I feel like you're light waves ahead of where I was at 15 or 16 years old. And so I'm excited to talk with you and learn more about you and figure out what makes you tick. So
Yeah.
again, welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Great being here.
So how'd you get involved in all this? How did you become you
Well,
in
okay.
terms of fitness?
I would say when I was around 12, after 6th grade, it was a summer in between 6th and 7th grade, I wanted to get into, not necessarily lifting, but just working out, like just physical fitness in general. So I asked my dad about it first, and he got me into just doing like body weight workouts. And so for about 3 months, I was just doing push-ups, squats, sit-ups, all that stuff. And eventually, like I needed something more, so I got into lifting. And then my brother-in-law, he knows a lot about lifting. He used to be huge, like just insanely jacked, but he
Used to
really
be.
got me into it. Yeah, and he got me into just like bodybuilding and stuff. And it was kind of weird because I remember like seeing those bodybuilders, but it didn't really click with me. I was like, oh, that's cool. I just kind of want to work out and look kind of good, you know? And then after about, I want to say 2 years of that, I got into cross country, which is probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Like, I never thought I'd be in cross country. So I quit football, I joined cross country, and then that's when it all kind of clicked. I was like, well, I think I'm going to start going into like bodybuilding and stuff like that. And so I really just I started kicking it up, and this was about a year ago. And yeah, I went from like body weight to lifting, and then over just 2.5 years, I started to marinate in it, you know, kind of started to click with me. And so, yeah, now I'm here.
How much do you squat?
How much do I squat? 335 is my one rep max, but that was about 6 months ago. Maybe I can do more, maybe I can do less. Who knows?
335 at 15
335.
years old.
Yeah.
And what are you benching?
230.
230.
Yeah.
Okay. Deadlifts? Do you do those very often?
I do. It was actually funny. Today I was planning on trying to do, I was trying to get 405 up. I've been trying to do that for like past 2 weeks, but I kind of put my ego aside. I'm like, I need to do like a back by day. One goal I really had, or it wasn't really a goal I had, it was just something I thought would be cool. If before I would turn 16, I could say I could bench 225, deadlift 405, and then squat 315. But I don't know, I kind of just put my ego aside and be like, well, you got to give it time. And so, yeah, my max deadlift is 360, it's weird, it's 367.5. That's because my friend was messing around and he threw a cookie on one side one day. And so, technically 367.5. But, yeah, no, it was...
How did that not drive you nuts?
I don't know. I remember I didn't even notice it because there's so much weight on both sides.
Did he?
Just
So
at
he didn't tell
2.5.
you?
No. He put it on there as a joke. And I'm like, oh. And I thought he took it off. But he didn't. And it was still on there. I was like, okay, well, I like technically PR'd, so.
For the non-cool kids who don't know, a cookie is what?
A cookie is a 2.5 pound plate.
What do we call plates these days?
Cakes.
Plates or cakes?
Plates or
I've been
cakes.
thinking about this quite a bit. I'm
Yes.
running out of rhymes that are also desserts.
I know. I don't remember half the time. All I know is that 2.5s are cookies. Plates can be cakes. 35 can be a pie.
Fives, pies,
Yeah.
even the 25s.
Yeah.
25s, pies, quarters, pies. I don't know.
I like to think of it as a 5 as just like a big cookie. Like
a big cookie.
A big cookie, yeah.
You got Cookie Junior and just
Yeah.
Cookie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, you can start calling it Cookie Junior.
So when I introduced myself to Dylan, I definitely told him my name was David.
Yes.
And the next time I saw him, he sees me and he goes, "Oh, what's up, Jaden?"
I thought it was Jaden. I heard Jaden.
And for some reason, I didn't correct you. I don't know why. And I think because it caught me off guard too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even really sure what I heard because it takes me a minute to register things sometimes. And then the next time I saw you, it happened again.
I remember I had 3 whole conversations with you, and then at the end of that third, you're like, "By the way, my name is David, not Jaden." I almost messed it up again. No, yeah, you were like, it's David, not Jaden. I'm like, no way.
No way. Mind blown.
I don't know. I was like, it's Jaden for sure. Like,
So what's a weekday look like for you?
A weekday, okay.
What time? Start with what time you wake up, and then take us through the entire day.
So, productive weekday. I usually get up around 5:45, and I gotta start off the night before. So night before, I get back home usually around 8. And then I will do my laundry, and then it's weird. My meal prepping, I usually try to do it, plan it out for like 2 days, but that takes me about an hour. So if I have to meal prep that day, I will. So basically meal prep, I pack all my stuff, and then the night before, I will try to write down my workout. And usually on that page, I write down my workout. I'll try to put like some motivational quotes. I do like to try to find one quote and just put that at the top. I just find that kind of helps me just get through my day, and then maybe if I'm feeling it, I'll write a few more on there. But
You take them from memory?
Yes.
So what was today's quote?
I didn't have a quote today. I actually didn't write down my workout today. I've been a little past week. I haven't been as good about writing. I don't usually write down. If it's an exceptionally good day, I will journal. But yeah, I do think that journaling's pretty good. It just kind of keeps me on schedule. But
if you are taking your quotes from memory, where do you get your new quotes? Or do you just have 30 you recycle through?
Social media, sometimes books, just anywhere I hear them. Like sometimes I'll even write down quotes that I made, and then
give us a Dylan quote.
Dylan quote. Shit,
you don't have these memorized?
No, I don't. I remember it for a day, and then I forget it and get a new quote.
I'm excited that you mentioned quotes. I'm not going to go into mine yet, but I have a couple for you.
Okay. Let's hear 'em.
And I said I'm not going to go into it yet. We're not ready.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I put them in my notes.
Yes.
There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I got 3 for you tonight.
Okay. Excited to hear them. Yeah, no. So, yeah, I'll write down a quote. But
do you keep all these in your notes?
Yes,
Do you have one note with all your quotes, or is it scattered between different?
No, it's a whole notebook, and I'll have just one page. I make sure to try to leave as little space on that page as possible, and that'll kind of, it's like an artwork, you know? Just like having a whole page filled out and just being able to look at it. It's nice. Just kind of makes you proud of yourself, too. Just like seeing a whole page. I'll be honest, when I was little, I used to hate reading and writing, so just like now I can actually do it and be disciplined about it. I'm like, okay, I don't think I have it. But
you don't have a single Dylan quote.
I know I took photos of.
This is embarrassing.
Or actually, wait, no, I got some of my notes.
This is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Dylan Kramer.
I know. This is.
You are acting like a footless.
I'm
hobo
letting you
right
guys
now.
down. I know. I got one.
Yeah. All right, give it to us. Give it to us.
Okay.
Look at the camera while you read it.
Don't focus on what was. Focus on what is. It's kind of weird because some of these don't make sense because it's kind of like.
Read a don't make sense one.
Don't make sense. I think that was one of them, but that would
make
not
sense.
technically.
Because think about it. What was? It's like Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about what was.
That's true. Okay. This one I know I didn't come up with. I just don't know who said it. It says, if it's not challenging you, it's not changing you. That one I like a lot because it's just true.
If it's not challenging you, it's not changing you.
If it's not challenging you, it's not changing you.
You know what's been a challenge? Getting this podcast going.
I know.
No, it's been fun though.
Yeah.
But it's been, at the same time, it's the most fun. When I solve a problem, today's issue that I wanted to solve was getting this thing distributed to all the different podcast platforms except Apple Podcasts, which is terrible because that one's huge. I imagine that's where the bulk of the people will probably
I was
listen.
gonna say, I've never heard of anyone listening on Apple Podcasts, so it's about that. I'll leave you guys with one last quote.
Please do.
From David Goggins. You don't know me, son. That wasn't even.
Wait. Turn that back around. It got its own file. Because here's what mine looks like. If you look at mine, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
no.
it just, but you're giving each quote its own note.
Yeah. They all got their own.
Oh man.
Yeah, some of these are just kind of like random
That's
things I
stressful.
think,
That's
and
stressing me out.
I know. Yeah, it's
Okay, here's what I have for you.
okay.
I don't know who it was. We'll fact check it later. In order to succeed at life, you have to get good at saying no to the things that won't get you to a yes.
I know his last name is McRaven. Admiral something McRaven.
No, I'm not quoting him.
You're not quoting him?
No,
I thought you're.
that wasn't a joke. We'll be quoting Admiral McRaven quite a bit in this episode, but I'm not.
Are you not quoting him?
No.
I could have swore that was him.
This guy, I'm positive whoever it was someone in sports.
Okay.
It was either a basketball player, a hockey player, a football player, but his punchline was, you have to get good at saying no to the things that won't get you to a yes. I'm going to get good at saying no to drugs, or get good at saying no to hookups or to parties or whatever it is, so that I can be in the gym by 4 a.m. the next morning training the Super Bowl or whatever the thing was that he was talking about. Do you resonate with that one at all? Has there been anything that you've said no to in order to get to your yes?
Yeah, there actually is one thing, but I want to say I am very bad about that. Like every weekend, okay, I used to be, well, okay, when I had no friends, all right, I used to be very disciplined. Every weekend, I was always just doing everything. Now, I have these two friends I always hang out with every weekend. They're the best. But, yeah, I just don't go to the gym, even though I should be on the weekends. But, yeah, so.
But you work out so hard Monday through Friday. Do you actually think you need to be in there on the weekends?
I feel like I should be there at least 6, sometimes 7 days a week. But
when would your body heal if you were in there 7 days a week?
when I'm not working out, like the rest of the time, because I'm usually pretty chill back in class. But I remember there was this one time, my best friend, he brought this up. That's the only reason I remember it. But he's like, dude, like, you're so dedicated. You skipped going to dinner with him and his dad on his dad's birthday. I didn't go to dinner with them. I was like, I gotta go to the gym. It was like really bothering me. I'm like, I have to. And so, yeah. But I think that quote is really true and something I should get better at.
That does remind me that it wasn't Mother's Day. What was the event that we worked out? You were supposed to be leaving for something for your mom.
It was Valentine's Day. Yes. Yeah, I was supposed to go to my mom. My mom invited me to dinner because I wasn't doing anything. But then we were at the gym. And she was like 15 minutes late. And I was like, okay, well, might as well keep working out.
How old were you before these two friends came into your life when you made the...
They were with me, one of the friends was with me before... I think we were like 10. Like, we go way back. He's my best friend. So.
Why do you think you had no friends before you were 10?
Well, okay, I moved from Ohio. And it wasn't that I didn't have any friends. It's just I was moving so often I couldn't keep friends. But
Gotcha.
once I kind of got that stability down, and just being in one place, especially cell phones help with that too, because you can get someone's number. You can hang out with them whenever. But, yeah, no, I kind of bounced around a lot. And when you're that young, it's hard to keep friends. But now I'm able to, like, have steady friendships because I'm not like moving everywhere. So.
Two friends, the ones you mentioned, are they both Austin based? Are they here?
Yeah, they are.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Good. So we haven't even got to morning yet. So you write down your workout the night before.
Oh,
you maybe
yeah.
put some quotes, and then what happens
okay,
after
yeah.
that?
So on a good day, yeah.
We're making progress.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the night before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I fold all my track clothes, put in my bathroom, yada yada yada, and then so I get up. One more thing I forgot to mention. I always make a protein shake the night before.
You make it the night before?
Yes.
Throw it in the fridge?
Keep it in the fridge. Yeah, the thing is, if I make it in the morning, first of all, I'm too tired to make it in the morning. And I'm also, it gets really foamy. This is kind of off topic, but it gets really foamy. And it's just like warm, and I don't like drinking that. It's like gross, especially before track practice. I want to puke before track practice. No. But exactly. Yeah, so I make one the night before. And so... I remember I was thinking about this last night. I have 4 steps in the morning. I'll get up, I'll get dressed, I'll drink my protein shake, I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll leave. And that's kind of what my morning looks like. And then from there, I go to track practice. It's usually around 6:30, 7:30, sometimes 8. It just depends on what we're doing. And then we will have a 50-minute break, and then 8:50, we have a second workout. It's usually like stretching or something like that. And then I go through my school day, just school till 4:10, and then I have powerlifting practice, and that goes on until about 5:30. And then, like I said, if it's a good day, I will go to Gold's after and finish around 7:30, get home at 8, and just do that whole week.
Do you eat dinner?
Yes, my dad makes me dinner.
Dad makes you dinner.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, love having parents. It's good.
I have no one to make me dinner.
Yeah.
Fast food places
Yeah.
make me dinner. No. That's bad. Dude, that's an awesome day. When I was your age, that's not what my day looked like. My day was like, we're out of bed. When I was, 15, I would have been you're a sophomore right now?
Sophomore,
Or a
yeah.
junior? So when I was a sophomore, we're out of bed, eat some cereal, put on some clothes, go to school until 3-ish or so.
Yeah.
My parents, because of their work schedule, usually couldn't get me until 4 or 5. So I would just hang out on campus and hopefully had some friends. Sometimes I'd just start on homework and whatnot. Go home, play some video games, watch TV, maybe do some homework, maybe play some video games. Went to bed.
Yeah.
It's just night and day difference. That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, cool. Who do you think is one of your greatest role models in real life? And what I mean by that is it can't be David Goggins. It has to be someone
I
like
know.
you've met, you know them, you could call them right now and they take the call.
I think it's my dad. Yeah.
Why?
Well, he kind of has his shit together, you know? And that's something I kind of look up to because I don't always have my stuff together sometimes. Like, even this week, I'm kind of falling apart. I've been waking up late. Like, I haven't been going to Golds after school, like, after powerlifting practice. But I think my dad, he always just has his shit together, like, no matter what. And he just kind of, I don't know, like, even financially, too. He's smart about everything. He teaches good life lessons, too. He's just a nice guy. He's always calm. He never gets angry. Yeah, I think I could definitely take some certain aspects from his life.
Does he
I
work
like to
out
do
by
that.
chance?
He does. He does different stuff. He doesn't necessarily do weightlifting. He does lift, but he does rowing. It's erging. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a bit, our workouts are a bit different, but we can still, like, go in the gym together, so it's good.
So now
Yeah.
who's one of your non-real life role models?
C-Bum. I know it's basic, but, like, C-Bum he's crazy. He's only, like, 28. He's won 4 Olympias.
He's 28?
Uh-huh.
You want to hear something funny? I only learned who he was last night.
Really? Last night?
24 hours ago, what time is it? 7:26? Yeah, about 24 hours ago, I had no idea who C-Bum was.
Really?
I didn't know
I remember
he
I mentioned it
existed.
to you in the gym one time. You're like, I have no clue who that is.
Oh,
But,
there you go. Yeah, you knew that already.
Yeah, he's
then.
probably like everyone's role model, but I don't know. It's just like he makes YouTube vlogs too, which that's why I kind of got into journaling because I remember me and my best friend, we sat down one day and we're both like, we should just like write down some notes about it because like we saw him like his vlogs, like we'd watch him and be like, okay, like let's write some stuff down and try to take something from it. And so that's why I initially started journaling. I remember I started doing form stuff with rows. I remember the first thing I did was like upright rows, and that's when I started incorporating like quotes and stuff too. And I'm like, hold on, like maybe if I'm like trying to get more discipline. Because I remember at one point I was like kind of just going in here and doing whatever I need to, like I want to write down stuff. I want to write down rep ranges, like how many sets I should be doing. And so I wrote down just like sets, reps, and then started just like writing quotes around the page. And next thing you know, I got like this whole page of just what I'm doing the next day. And so
Do you save
yeah.
those?
I do. Yes, I always have it in my notebook, and then usually I don't like bringing my notebook to school just because like I don't need the whole thing, so I'll just take a photo of it and then look at it at the gym and use that. But yeah, I do. I always have it. It's always like fully filled out. So yeah.
Do you have a notebook that's completely filled out already? That's been like
No,
on the
I only
shelf,
started
or are you still on your
journaling-
first one?
I'm still on my first one. It's actually been about 6 months when I first started doing it. So I remember I first bought it with the intent of like doing what I'm doing right now, and then I took a hiatus for like 3 months, kind of just forgot about the notebook. I was still lifting and stuff, but I didn't write down anything. Then I remember I started reading, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I should start journaling too. And so I started journaling. I'm hoping for that day where I can like be like, okay, I gotta get a new notebook now, and then I can look back at that one, see the mistakes
Totally.
I made. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I look forward to that day.
Yeah.
good.
No, I have one completely filled out, maybe 2, and I haven't got to the point yet where I've gone back and reread it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like one I think I only completed in 2019-ish, right before the pandemic started. But yeah, you should definitely save that.
Yeah. What
And
kind of stuff do you write down?
It could be anything. So one thing I do every morning is I have a set of 7 questions I go through, but I don't always write them down. So I have a piece of paper right next to my bed. I don't want it on my phone because I don't know about you.
Something about it being on your phone is just not the same.
Well, I get distracted. So I'll unlock it. I'll grab my cup of coffee and get back in bed. And what could happen is I might unlock my phone. As I unlock my phone, I might see an email, an Instagram notification, and then in that split second, I forgot that I was opening my phone to look at my morning questions, and I go do something else instead. Before you know it, 80 minutes has gone by, and I'm starting my workday, and I never looked at my questions. So I have a piece of paper next to my bed with 7 questions on it, or 10 questions on it. 7 for the morning, 3 for the evening. An example of a couple of the morning questions is, what am I proud of in my life right now? What about that makes me proud?
Yeah.
And how does that make me feel? And so it's sort of a reflection on the prior day. So if I was doing this tomorrow morning, what am I proud of right now? I'm proud of the fact that I have this podcast, proud of the fact that you're here and we're recording together, proud of the fact that this morning when I woke up, I wasn't publishable on Apple Podcasts, and now I am. Proud of the fact that I had a very productive day at work. I got to train someone junior to me in some stuff he didn't know, so that was pretty cool. What about that makes me proud? Just like having a productive day, what you were saying, it feels good to be able to think on the last 24 hours and be like, wow.
It might not feel good in the moment, but at the end of the day, you're like, that was a good day.
Or in the morning as you're reflecting. Well, and it gets me pumped up because then I'm like, all right, let's go have another one of those. One of the evening questions could be, what did I learn today? And so then I have to think back and ask, did I learn anything? And it doesn't even have to be anything big. It could even be like, I learned something about my friend Dylan. I learned something about, how to run a podcast. It could be something very small, but did I learn something that I didn't know when I woke up? So sometimes, to answer your question, sometimes I will write those down, but not every morning. I do not go through 10 questions and write them all down because, for one, some mornings it's pretty repetitive. I'm so proud of the podcast over the last 30 days. That would be the same answer every day. We got guest number 6 today. Woohoo! We got number 7. We got number 8. We're closer to the launch. It's part of the reason I don't always write it down. I also journal when I am feeling a wave of negative emotions. So if something has me very depressed, anxious, sad, worried, if I feel stuck or if I feel paralyzed, if I feel like life is just sort of paused and I don't know what the solution is, I'll journal about it.
I don't know. I just feel like I think being on your phone all the time is kind of like you're going to be on your phone like no matter what. I think just taking out like a journal or a piece of paper and just writing on that, because you're like free to do whatever you want. Like, blank slate of paper, that's like your whole mind, and so I think just doing that is really good. But I also think, like you said, like starting the day, like especially like just being like repetitive and stuff too, I do notice that in my life as well. Like just some days, like I'll just get up and be like, I'm just doing the same shit like every single day, but then there's that one day where you're kind of like, oh, okay, like it's catching up, it's for a purpose, right? And so it's those repetitive days where you kind of start to get it after a while.
Do you walk your dog?
Sometimes, it's not. I technically don't own a dog. That's my dad and my sister, who I'll watch him for.
Does he live at your home?
He does. Yes, my dad's apartment. But usually I will be out doing my own thing, and then
you're busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. I usually don't get home till like 8 p.m. So.
Well, I have something that you could try integrating. I'm not sure where you would, but one thing I've been doing, because I'm on my computer all day for work. Now with the podcast, I'm on my phone all the time for answering emails and whatnot. When I take the dog for our walk in the morning, it's about 30 to 40 minutes. I leave the phone at home.
Really?
It's 35 minutes with zero technology. I bring my keys and I bring some shit bags, and that's it.
That's it. I will say, as weird as it sounds, I'm usually the last one to go to sleep. Sometimes the first to wake up. That's not always true, though. But especially on the weekends, whenever all my friends fall asleep, it'll be like 3 in the morning. I just get up and walk, like 30 minutes. I don't bring my phone with me. I'll just walk, and I think it's
power move,
I know,
baby.
Dude, it's great. It's just being alone sometimes. It's good.
I love my walk away from. I love getting away from technology.
Exactly. No, because it's not even like you're getting away from technology. It's just it's just you, and you just get to be alone in your thoughts.
When was the last time you did that? A 3 a.m. walk.
I want to say maybe last Tuesday. Yeah.
Were you were on spring break then?
Yes. Yeah. Well, me and my friends were in Fredericksburg, and I went on. Well, it was either last Tuesday or Wednesday. But
and you were by yourself?
Yeah. Everyone fell asleep, and I'm like, okay.
Do you happen to remember having any thoughts in particular? Anything that was on your mind that morning?
I was just kind of asking myself what I want to do with my life, you know? Just like, really kind of put everything into perspective, being like, okay, if you really want to do this, you have to do this. And like, because like I said, I'm usually pretty disciplined. Over the past few weeks, I haven't been as much. I'm still doing stuff, but like I said, like on the weekends, like I'll be with friends. I won't say no, I'll just be with them instead. And so I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about what's really worth what and what I really want to do. So yeah, it's just kind of a lot of philosophical stuff, and then just thinking about like other people too. I kind of like think about them. I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. Like, I should probably check in on them.
Who do you
just,
think
like,
about?
everything, just like friends and family, just like people who mean something to me. You know, I'm like, what can I do for them? You know, because I can't always give stuff physically. Being 15, I do not have a job and not a lot of well, I do have a lot of physical possessions, but nothing that I can say is like mine and that I earn. And so I try to bring value in people's lives by just like being me, but I want to make their lives better in general, you know? I want to be able to just make them happy, you know? Stuff like that.
In preparation for this interview, I asked Dylan what he was reading, and he gave me two books, and one of them was Make Your Bed by, remind me who the author is?
Admiral something McRaven. I don't remember.
Admiral McRaven.
Admiral, yeah,
Good enough.
Admiral McRaven. That's good.
I ended up being able to power through the whole thing in 48 hours because it was a relatively short read. So thank you, first of all, for giving me an easy assignment. Yeah. But he essentially gives 10 strategies to change your world. I think he might say change the world, but I sort of read it as this is how I would change my world.
I think it applies more to self than like the whole world.
And one that he mentioned, one of the 10 strategies, we're going to go through all 10, maybe. We'll see what time allows for. But one of his strategies is giving people hope. And I think, to your point, that can even be more powerful than giving me... If you had come here tonight and given me a present of some sort, that would have been great. And I would have loved it and been grateful for it. Yeah. Do you feel like you give people in your life hope? And if so, how do you do that?
I hope so. I actually have a lot of things to say about this. I feel like physical possessions, I like to, especially in my life, I like to value not physical possessions, but experiences and time I have with people. I like to value that a lot more than like, I remember me and my dad were talking about this before we came here. He said, you can get a sweatshirt from someone, but in 30 years, you're not going to remember that sweatshirt. You're going to remember like how you spent that time with that person. And so I like to think like physical possessions aren't necessarily what you need in life. It's more like experiences with people. But it's also, like you said, giving hope to people. I think sometimes when you don't even care about yourself and you don't want to do something for yourself, like especially, this is very Jim Bro-y of me, but I'm going to bring this into lifting terms. Even when you're lifting and you just have a few more reps and you don't want to do it for yourself, think about another person and don't think about you doing it for you, think about you doing it for them. And so I kind of think about how, I'm saying think about a lot, my bad, but
you're fine.
No, I'm just thinking, like you can bring hope into other people's lives. Because while you have you can be better with more people. Because, okay. So life is good, like alone, but it can be good with other people. And so I like to think that you can bring hope to other people. I'm really trying to think about this. Okay. Jesus Christ.
You know what's funny about this right now is that this one stumped me a little bit.
Yeah.
Of all the 10, I was thinking about this one. And so to dumb it down for both of us a little bit, because I was thinking in my life, if I was to poll 3 family members and 3 friends, and the question was, in the last year, did David bring hope to your life?
Yeah.
I don't know what they would say. I would hope it's a yes. Hope.
Yeah, hope.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. No.
Hope literally means a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen, a feeling of trust, or to want something to happen. Seeing that second definition, a feeling of trust, do you feel like people trust you?
I hope so. That's the thing, because you can never know what someone's like truly thinking about you or just anything, which really annoys me, because like people can kind of speak through their actions, but even sometimes with their words, people are a little bit hesitant to tell you how they truly feel. I really hope people trust me. That'd be nice, but you can never truly know that, you know?
I think to a certain extent you can.
Yeah.
I think you probably have those friends and family members where you probably know.
Yeah. I think I just don't trust people enough. I probably should trust people more.
Why do you not trust people?
I don't know. It's just a lot of people are just like dishonest, and I'm like, well, if I can't trust you, I feel like I can't trust anyone. But that's not a good mindset, you know. You have to kind of just have to base your experience off someone and don't apply that to everyone, you know? That's just their own person. Especially with some people, I don't trust them, and then someone will kind of act like how that person does, and I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't trust this person. But then they're not them, so, like, maybe you should trust them. And so it's a little moral dilemma of mine.
I definitely hope that if one person lets you down or seems untrustworthy, you don't project that onto everyone or everything else. Because that's just one person.
Yeah, especially people with abusive parents. Thank God my parents aren't like, I have lovely parents. But people with abusive parents, they kind of just think like ill of other people no matter what. And especially like romantic partners too. If they see that in that partner, maybe that'll turn them off to that person. Or maybe it'll just make them think lesser of that person for something that they didn't do. Maybe if your father, I don't know, maybe if you like drank a certain drink like all the time and then that person drinks that drink and you're like, oh, well, he must be like him. That's not true. That's a different aspect of that person. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think sometimes I don't think people trust me, even though I know they probably do. But, yeah.
You give me hope.
I know. Yeah, thank you.
One thing I wanted to go back to was you were talking about your walk last Tuesday or Wednesday morning. You were thinking about the future. What do you think you want to do? Do you have any goals? What do you want to accomplish post high school? What's on your mind?
It's kind of funny. When I was younger, I really wanted to join the military, and it wasn't really till about like maybe 6 months ago that kind of dissipated, because I was always like, oh, dude, I want to be like this badass like Marine or something going around. But then I kind of realized that's not how it works. You know, you can't just like run in there and do all that. And so that's the thing about bodybuilding, because like whenever I first started lifting, I kind of looked at bodybuilding and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't really want to do that. Especially over the past year, that's when it really kind of started kicking in. Because a year ago, I'd look at bodybuilders and I'd be like, okay. And now I kind of look at them as like something I'm like, oh,
wait, expand on that. Mm-hmm. You said I would look at them and think, okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It was more like I would look at them and be like, oh, I was like, that's kind of cool, I guess. Like maybe it wasn't really like I wanted to be them. Like back then, I would look at that and it'd be like a motivator. Well, if they can do that, I can do something lesser than that. And now I want to be that. I want to do that. But even now, it's not even like I'm not like full send on it, because that's like, it's weird because it's more of like that's the only career thing I know about right now. Because I definitely don't want to be in the military anymore. But I don't know. I think like my dream would be starting my own business, getting really rich out of nowhere, and then being able to do whatever I want to with my life. That would be really cool. But I think bodybuilding would definitely be like a cool thing.
Let's say you were rich. What would you do with the money?
Well, I would like to help out my friends and family, of course. Give them a good of a life as possible. Just like anything I can do to improve their life, any financial struggles they might have, maybe I could help them out with that. Shit, maybe I could buy like a giant house, me and all my friends could live in it. Some cool like that.
Maybe you could buy me a camera that doesn't crash.
Yeah, maybe I could buy you a camera that doesn't crash.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Just improving other people's lives, that'd be really cool. And then I think bodybuilding wise, here's the thing about bodybuilding. I don't want to be like a massive roid raging bodybuilder. I really like classic physique. That's why I like C-Bum, because he's in the classic physique division. I think the open physique is, don't get me wrong, it's like cool, but I also don't want to be that big. Jesus Christ. If I was, I don't know, 220, 230 of like pure muscle, that'd be great. But I just want to be able to like touch the back of my head, you know. I don't want my biceps to be like,
you want to be able to wipe your own butt.
Exactly. I want to be able to wipe my own butt. Yeah. No, yeah, I think if I looked good and was rich and felt good, like that'd be a great life.
Do you feel good now?
Sometimes, not all the time, but especially those 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, God, that's when I ask myself, I'm like, why am I doing this? But then that's when I stop thinking about myself and I start thinking about other people, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for them, and that's what really kind of gets me through my day.
So outside of taking care of your friends and family, if you had money, what else would you do with it?
I think for me personally, of course, like maybe buy a house, like nice cars and stuff. I think I would also, I'd definitely invest some money into like future businesses to get more money. I'm not that financially smart yet, but hopefully I will be one day. I think I would also, what else would I do? Probably just like the basic stuff, like just buy a bunch of cool shit, but then be smart about it too. I think maybe if I were to, you know, it'd be cool if I like bought my own gym. That'd be nice. If I was a millionaire, maybe I could buy my own gym.
I don't even know if you need to be a millionaire for that.
Probably don't. If you put
a down payment on one, or
exactly, yeah, you get a loan or something.
Yep.
You get your own gym. Yeah, I think just something like that would be cool. I think there's a lot of things in life that I could kind of put money into. get going.
Well, and part of the reason I ask is because, one, I'm trying to remember like where my head was at when I was 15.
Oh, I can
And
get that.
my being rich is very vague.
Uh-huh.
I think all of us would probably want that. If you ask anyone on earth, from the middle class to someone that doesn't even have clean water, what could make your life easier? More money so I can get clean water. You know, so that's why I was trying to dig into a little bit about what kind of doors would that open for you. So for you, it would be starting your own business and supporting friends and family.
Yeah, stuff like that. I like to also think money, no matter what, does not bring happiness. Have you ever read Steve Jobs' last words?
Nope.
Oh, you should. Like, after this, you definitely should. It's very good. I remember I had a substitute teacher tell me that, and I'm like, that's strange, but all right, and I did. And it's pretty good, but I like to think, kind of sounds corny, but money does not bring happiness. Like, no matter what, you can have, like, everything in the world. Like, in a smaller scale, I think it was for my last birthday, I had total, like, $500, which is not, like, that much at all. But I remember I would just, like me and my friend would go out and buy dinner and stuff, and, oh, this is so cool. But it didn't necessarily make me feel happier. It was just, like, something I had that was just like I said earlier, like physical possessions. I like to value experiences more than physical possessions. So maybe if money were to bring me, especially vacations too, like just stuff like that, I think it's cool. But I think like it's not necessarily the money that brings you the happiness. It's the experiences you can get with the money.
One thing I will say about money and possessions and whatnot, to give you some perspective of someone a little bit older, is I just moved here from Sacramento. So I was born and raised in California. The day after Christmas, December 26th, I packed what little I could fit into my Ford Focus, which Dad took up a whole seat. I got rid of everything I owned. So everything either went to friends and family, stuff that was worth giving away as like gifts or whatnot. A lot of like my clothes and books went to, it wasn't a homeless shelter, but it was almost like a sanctuary where if you are homeless, you can go and get like a free outfit and they don't charge you for it. So I gave all my clothes to them. Essentially in my car, I packed a few pairs of clothing, the books you see on this bookshelf, my 2 laptops, the dog, all of his shit, because he's my little prince, as I like to call him. And that's it, man. So I came out here, bought a few pieces of furniture, and have invested, a little bit of money to get this podcast up and running. And I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I think it's ironic that when it comes to like things I own, I probably have the least to my name that I've ever had. And I'm also at one of the happiest point of my life. I'm not saying you shouldn't pursue richness, you shouldn't pursue money. I'm not saying that at all. But I think you also need to keep in mind, what else am I chasing? Or what doors is this going to open? Or
that's the thing that scares me too, because I feel like if you're too happy, then you feel like you're fine with your life. There have been a few points in my life where, especially like physique-wise, I look at my physique and be like that's pretty good. I'm fine with that. And I'll stop working as hard. And then I'll stop being happy. And I'm like, oh my God, like what are you doing? Even for the past week, I haven't been necessarily unhappy, but I remember I was kind of starting to I was like really happy one day, and then it was just like, I was happy, but I felt like I stopped kind of focusing on like everything else. It was more like, I feel like if you're too happy all the time, then you don't really have anything to work for. You don't have a happiness to look up to. So I don't necessarily think being unhappy is a bad thing. I think that's kind of something you need, something you kind of build your character off of. But
you ever heard the thermometer analogy?
I have not.
If you were the only person living in your home or your apartment, what would you keep the thermostat set at?
67.
Okay. Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, 68.
68.
Even numbers are a little better for me.
I got you.
But so let's say that at 67 degrees, you're content. What happens is you have a couple weeks of consistently journaling, consistently going to track, consistently going to powerlifting, consistently going to golds, consistently getting on podcasts, and your life starts to warm up because you're having all these wins. You get to 68, 70, 74, 78. And what happens is exactly what you just said, is you become very happy. You get up to like 78, 80, and you're like, wow, I reached a new temperature I've never been at before. And then you start to get content because you've reached this new thing. So then maybe you stop going on a few podcasts, you drop down to like 79, but you're still winning, right?
Yeah.
Because things are going pretty good. Maybe you stop journaling, now you're down to like 77. Then you miss a few workouts at Golds, now you're down to like 74. And before you know it, not only are you down to your normal, like content temperature of 67, but maybe you even drop to like 65 or 63, where your life drops in the other direction. And I heard this analogy from a guy named Ed Milet, and his theory is that most people live on that continuous cycle of content to 67, and I get bored of being content, or I get restless, or I'm unhappy, and so therefore I do all these good things for my life and I get up to 80, but then I get content with all the wins, and I start being lazy and I swing back down to 60, and it's just this constant back and forth and back and forth. And so I think one of life's questions that we have to ask ourselves is, how do we get ourselves up to 75 or 80 and then stay there?
I agree. I think that's a perfect analogy to put it. I don't know. It's kind of I'm still 15. I'm still trying to figure stuff out, but I think that analogy is perfect.
I'm still 35 and I'm figuring stuff out.
Yeah, everyone's still trying to figure stuff out. Yeah, no, I think be happy, but just don't let
But
that
don't be
slow
too
you
happy.
drive. Yeah, basically, yeah. Just don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do. You know, it's like feeling okay all the time. Let's say you just live in a house, you have a family, everything is great, and you feel fine. Someone can have that exact same feeling if they're like homeless under a bridge. They can feel exactly the same way you do. They could feel fine. And so I'm thinking, if I'm happy right now, like imagine how much more happy I'd be if I was in like this position or like higher up or like stuff like that. And so like it's weird because I remember like again, physique wise, like if I look at myself and I'm like I'm happy with this, I will never get any bigger than that. I will never get any stronger. I'll be like, since I'm happy with that, I will stay right there. So that's what kind of scares me. I feel like if I'm too happy about something, then it will just not go anywhere because you're like, okay, this is fine. I don't need to go up. I don't need to go down. It's fine right here. But if you went up, it'd be way better. And so yeah.
Do you feel like you have a healthy self-image of yourself when you look at your body?
Sometimes. I feel like most of the time I kind of look at myself and I expect more. But there are times where I look at myself and I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not necessarily happy, but I'm like, I don't want to say I think about other people and kind of put them down, but I do think I could be in a worse position. Or I look at myself a few months ago and I'm like, okay, like you have improved. Or even like 2 years ago, I'm like, you were a skinny bitch. Now you're not as skinny. So yeah, I like to think
You're not a skinny bitch.
Not a skinny bitch. I
You're
appreciate
not.
that. No, yeah.
And part of the reason I ask is because I think so many of us, it's that body dysmorphia.
Yeah, body
especially
dysmorphia.
people in the gym. I
Yeah.
think we all have it. When I look at my calves, I look at them, I'm just like, God, those are embarrassing.
Yeah, no. Some
And-
people
and
say
then-
some shit too, and you're like, ugh.
Well, but what I was going to say was then the other day, though, one of my buddies came up to me, and it was leg day, and he made a comment, and I was like, no, dude, my calves are small. And he's like, dude, your calves are bigger than my quads.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't see it.
Exactly.
We don't see it on ourselves.
Dude.
And so as you were talking about being happy with your body versus not being happy, and that's why I was just sort of wondering, when you look in the mirror, are you satisfied? Do you talk shit to yourself?
I do
Does
a
it
lot.
depend on the
Yeah.
morning? What goes into that?
It's kind of crazy. You just reminded me of something. I remember it was like a few weeks ago. My friends were talking shit. They're like, dude, your calves are so tiny. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I remember I went to the gym, and this dude was like, dude, like your calves are huge. Like you got veins in your calves and everything. I'm like, what? Like, I'm so confused right now. That's crazy. And I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird, like flip flop of that. Someone will say something, and then someone will say something else, and you're just like, no. It's kind of about what you believe, and especially body dysmorphia, because I especially don't see like potential in myself sometimes, and someone will say something, and I'm like, nah, like they're lying. They're just saying that because they want something. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that body dysmorphia, like, it'd be great if you're just like happy with your body all the time, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it's kind of helps you get on to like a new level.
You just said something I don't want to let slide. You said that when someone gives you a compliment, do you think it's because they have an ulterior motive?
All the time. Yeah.
Why? Where do you think that comes from?
I think I just don't like I said earlier, I don't really trust people. Like I don't think
But But I give you compliments all the time, and I feel like you trust me.
I do. Yeah, but it's not even you, it's like certain people. If they remind me of someone else, I'm like, oh, they're like they have the same motive as that person. But especially when you give me compliments, I'm like, because you're someone I look up to. And it's like whenever people I look not necessarily down upon, but are on my level, I'm like, nah, they're just like messing with me or something. But when it's people I look up to, like people that I really trust and take advice from, I'm like, okay, like I guess I'll take it. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Trust people more. Or
try.
don't. Or
Yeah,
don't.
or don't.
Be cynical
Yeah.
or not. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Some people you shouldn't trust, definitely, but others probably should.
Let's start diving into some of these strategies from the
Okay.
book, Make Your Bed. These are strategies to change your world. What's your take on this one? Tip number 1, start your day with the task completed. His suggestion, General McRaven, is to make your bed. I do make my bed 7 times a week, and I'll tell you why. When you get into a made bed at nighttime,
Oh, it's good.
tell me it's not 10 times more comfortable than an unmade
is.
bed.
Oh my god, no, just like I don't know if you have some ruffled comforters and you kind of crawl into it. It's like yeah, but when the comforters are smooth and everything's just laid out, perfectly fluffed pillows, you just lay down. You're like it feels like you're laying in like a hotel bed. But I think
Do you make your bed 7 days a week? How many days, if any?
on the weekends.
Only on the weekends?
Only on the weekends.
Why?
No,
It takes 2 minutes, if
I
that.
know it does, but I usually get up like 6. I gotta be at practice by 6:30. I just kind of drink my protein shake and like I'm out of the house by 6:20. I probably could take that extra 2 minutes, but I don't really allocate that time. I'm just like sluggish. It's one of those things I could be more disciplined at. You have to throw some discipline in my life.
But
Do
his
that.
whole point is to start your day with the task completed. So if in your first 20 minutes you wake up, get ready, grab your protein shake, and you're off to track, right? I would say that's starting your day with the task completed. So
Exactly,
maybe it's
yeah.
not his task, but you're completing something.
I complete several other tasks except that one. Yeah.
And even for me, if there is a day I miss making my bed, I'm still being very productive in the morning. When my alarm goes off, the morning always looks the exact same. I chug a glass of water, stumble to the bathroom and take a piss, grab a cup of coffee, get the dog from his crate, we get back into bed, and I start working on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting stuff done. It just...
Yeah, it's even like if you're not doing what he considers productive, you're still doing something productive.
During the summertime, are you doing any sports, or do you have any time of year when you're completely, with the exception of just going to the gym on your own free will, you have nothing else going on fitness wise?
Summer, I'm kind of like freelancing it.
What? So last summer, what did that look like in the morning time for you?
Morning. Well, it's kind of weird because I would just kind of like wake up whenever. I'd always make sure to go to the gym, but I wasn't going to Gold's at that time. I got a membership like first week of like, was it August? It was May. I think it's like first week of May. But I remember I got that Gold's membership, and I wasn't exactly like a social butterfly, so I wasn't just like flying in there, like talking to people. I remember if I did go, I'd go with my brother-in-law, but if not, I would just work out at home. And it wasn't until about maybe 4 or 5 months ago I really started to like just go in there alone, and I was like fine with it. Because I remember like the first few times I did go there on the loan, I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know like what I'm doing at all. And then you just do that enough times and you're kind of like, okay. But yeah, especially during last summer, it was, God, I was on this really weird schedule for about a week. Thank God I got off of it. I would wake up at 7, 8 p.m., eat some food, and then I'd go lift for I don't even know how many hours. It usually started at 10 p.m. and I'd be done by 3. Most of the time I was
Why do you
either,
put
like,
that in quotes? Is it because you were dicking around half the time?
Yeah,
or?
I was usually on my phone like half the time. Just,
But you
like,
were
in my
working
garage.
too, right? Or were you just sort of
I was.
half-assing it?
No, I wasn't half-assing it, but I was just like taking too much time. I wasn't being like as productive. That's when God, I remember I told you about how I used to do when I first started working out. I do full body workouts.
Yes.
That's kind of when I started getting my splits together, and that's when I kind of divided it into different stuff. But even then, I would do, for example, I do shoulders and arms, which I would do like 4 movements for my biceps, 4 movements for my triceps, and then 4 movements for shoulders. And then I would always do 4, sometimes 5 sets. So it just took like exceptionally long. And so yeah, I'd finish at 3, 4 in the morning. I'd eat some food and then go to sleep by 6. And then I would do that. And I did that for the week
6
straight.
a.m.?
6 a.m. Yeah.
Why?
Because my sleep schedule was just screwed up, but I was like, oh, I have to lift. And so, yeah.
So you became a vampire.
Pretty much, yeah, my schedule was literally reversed. And then I remember it wasn't until one day out of the week I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a day off just to get my sleep schedule and like everything else together. And that's when I kind of got back onto a normal schedule. I remember I got my friend to start going to Golds with me, and so that was very helpful. But yeah, we'd like sometimes we go together. I don't know if that was during the summer. It might not have been during the summer, but I did start going alone at some point, and that's when I was more schedule oriented. I was able to go probably around like maybe 3 or 4 because I didn't really have anything to do during the summer. So yeah, no, I would go there, but I didn't really have a specific schedule. I was kind of just going, make sure I went to the gym like once a day. I'd make myself food too. That's when I first started learning how to like cook. I've been like, even during COVID, I would learn how to cook like smaller, more simple dishes like sandwiches and just like eggs and just like small stuff like that. But that's when I really started learning how to like cook meat and rice and different techniques to do stuff. And that's when I kind of started getting into meal prepping. But it wasn't till maybe like the start of the school year, 6 months ago, I really started to get into it. And then powerlifting started, and then that's when I really got my routine going, which that wasn't even like too long. That was maybe in like December. I was able to get like a full routine going.
So when you think about this coming summer, are you going to try to keep your schedule somewhat normal? Or
Yeah, I mean, I will have like
are you going to slip into vampire mode again?
No, definitely not vampire mode. But I will, excluding vacations, I think I will try to keep a good schedule. I'm going to try to have fun and stuff too. But I think just as long...
there's one-offs.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have long nights out, and then it'll take 2 or 3 days to readjust.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to
summertime.
dedicate my whole day to it, but I think I definitely will. I think it'd be great if maybe I woke up at 5 in the morning, got my lift done, get home by 7, then have the whole day.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing my morning workout tomorrow, and if I get there by 7:30, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that early.
7:38 is I can't do earlier than that. You're also 15, I'm 35, so there's a big difference there. But dude, one thing I will say about morning workouts, I did a morning workout on Tuesday. It completely changes my day.
Yeah.
My best days ever are when I have a morning workout.
Yeah.
I'm awake, my mind's focused, I'm productive at work, I host good podcasts. Dude, morning workouts are magic.
Dude, something about just like get up at 6 in the morning, go to track practice, and you go to school. Every single ounce of energy I have left in that day goes into lifting. I get home, I just crash. It's funny. I'll get back.
We work hard because you're not, by the time you get to the gym, you've now been awake for 12 to 13 hours, coupled with the fact you were physically pushing yourself, then mentally pushing yourself, then physically pushing yourself some more. Then you get to the gym, the sun setting, and you're kicking ass.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so impressed by you.
Yeah, it's usually when I'll get back and then I'll get in the shower. And like before I get in the shower, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go home.
You'll get in the shower between power and the gym?
No. Like when I get back home and then get in the shower.
Oh, I was gonna say that's actually really smart. If you took a cold shower right before the gym to get your metabolism going again or something.
Maybe I'll do that. That's good. But it was like, it's always when I'm in the shower, I just crash. I'm like, whoa, I need a nap. I'm like, dude. Like, just something about being in the shower. Just that warm water hits you. It's just comfortable. And then I'm just, like, standing there. I'm like, ooh.
What number water are you on?
I think it's mine.
Because I threw one away. How many are on the floor? So that's your 4th.
Is it my 4th?
Yeah, because I took one to the kitchen already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Everyone, he says he drinks more water when he's nervous. He got here. How long have you've been here 2 hours. You're drinking a bottle every 30 minutes, and I'm not even through my first LaCroix yet.
It's not that bad of a thing. I don't drink enough water throughout the day. I don't talk in front of people a lot. So
you're not in front of people.
No, well, technically.
Technically, it's not live.
Yeah,
there's no one there.
Okay. 1,000 people watching right now.
Strategy number 2. You can't go it alone. I love this one. I agree with it 1,000%. I do parts of my life alone. As you've noticed, I have no roommates if you don't include the dog. Hopefully one day a significant other will live here. Outside of that person, community is so strong. When you hear the word community, what does that mean to you?
Oh my God, dude. Community is like, especially gym community, if you don't have that, it's like weird. 'Cause I remember, like I said, whenever I was in my garage, just like 4 in the morning lifting alone after sleeping all day, that's when you're like completely alone. And And if I was in like a good mindset then, imagine what it'd be like having friends. Because like now, having friends and like lifting with friends and just like, being around friends, it makes everything so much more different. Because you get new perspectives and stuff too from other people.
I've seen you light up. I've
Yeah.
seen you see your buddies in the gym, and you'll
Uh-huh.
take out your headphones and you get this big smile on your face,
Yeah.
and you're all shooting the shit for a minute. One thing that sucked about my Tuesday morning workout, I didn't see anybody I knew. If I go at 6 or 7 at night, I'm guaranteed to see at least one person. Maybe more, maybe usually not less. It's usually one or more people. Tuesday, it was almost like sort of lonely in a way.
Yeah, I think the worst is when it's not even when you're completely alone. It's when there's a bunch of people there you don't know, and it almost makes you feel more lonely because it's not even like you just have no one there. It's like you have a bunch of these people that you don't know, and that are kind of just like weird. It's like, how do I phrase this? It's like
You're in a room full of strangers.
yeah, but it's like they take up space too, and you're like, I don't know these people. It gives you anxiety sometimes. You're just like, well, so many people here. Don't have anyone to talk to. It's weird.
I want the perspective of a teenager in 2023.
Okay.
How do you build a healthy community?
How do you build a healthy community? Well, I think first things first, you just got to be you. Because I don't think a lot of people are real enough, you know? Most people are kind of just putting on this persona to look cool. And I don't think that's good for community. You need to be you and show what you can offer as a person. I also think with community, you just have to communicate more. Because there are a lot of people that feel a certain way, they just don't show it. And I think even some unhealthy emotions like anger and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to express it in a bad manner. But I think just talking to people and telling them about that stuff, just being real with people, I think that could definitely build a better community. And also, I think just like stopping like divisions, like thinking you can't hang out with someone for this reason or this reason. Just like, especially dumb stuff. Maybe you guys don't like the same thing. Like, you shouldn't care about that. You should kind of value who they are as a person, not for what they like. Yeah, I think just like all in all, I think you could build a stronger community by just like kind of coming together, just trying to be better people. You know, that's the thing too, because I feel like if everyone tried to be like a better person, that would definitely bring people together. Like, because like some people aren't really focusing on other people; they're just focusing on themselves. I think if you kind of look at other people and what you can do for them, then not only would you do a lot for them, they'd probably do a lot for you too. And so you both kind of benefit from that, and then maybe someone else hops in, and then before you know it, you have this whole little community of just people who are doing stuff for each other to make things better. That's like what families are for, you know? Because like families are like, you do something for them, they do something for you, and I think, you know, that's how you can build a community. You just kind of do things for each other, make sure everyone's okay, you know, check in on them, and yeah, you got a little community going.
Me and one of my prior guests were just talking about how sometimes some of the most selfless deeds turn out to be quite selfish.
Exactly.
In a really positive way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do this for Dylan. Dylan's in a scrap. He needs money. He needs a ride somewhere. He needs to vent about something. So I'm there for you. You know, I do whatever that thing is you need. At the end of the day, if I know that I did something good for a friend or family member, it makes me feel really good.
Yeah,
it's
get
the
a big
highlight
head
of my
about
day.
it. You're like, oh, that's making me
Yeah,
feel good.
I'm like, man, Dylan feels like shit today, but I
Yeah.
sure felt good to be
Yeah, it
there
feels
for
good
him.
now.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's funny how, just in full agreement with you, that by being selfless and thinking about what can I give, it always comes back to
Yeah.
you. And I know too that there have been times in my life where I either felt like a victim or I felt angry, and if I could get myself out of that emotion and take a look at what's going on with my friends, what's going on with my family, is there some way that I can give back? Can I be of service? Can I do something, even at work? Is there something I can do at work that's maybe not in my job description? Like today, went out of my way to do something for someone that was a little bit junior than me. No one asked me to do it. Did it take away from my time? Did it take away from my goals? Yes. But did it feel really good knowing that I helped him hopefully feel like he's more productive, more efficient, that he's winning at work? Yeah. And dude, it's so worth it. I don't mind at all. In fact, it made my day.
Yeah.
And I also liked what you opened with about being genuine. The best thing you can do is just to be yourself. Just be you.
Yeah.
Whoever Dylan Kramer is, whoever the footless hobo is, if you show up and you're just you, your weird, strong, built little self every day, you know, and if I'm me,
It's perfect. It'll work out.
It'll work
God,
out.
dude, I
Community will
remember-
find us, and we'll find community.
Yeah, it was about a year ago. I was going through some shit, and then my
What
friend's
were you,
birthday
what were
was
you
going
going through?
Girl problems, dude. As stupid as it sounds, this girl, dude, we were talking maybe like 3 weeks, and then she stopped talking to me. Like, she's talking to some other dude. And I don't know what it was. It was just like, I hadn't had a girlfriend in so long that I was like, fuck, dude, like, that sucks. But yeah, I just had like girl problems going on. I felt like shit. I remember I had some extra money. I think I had about like, I think it's $200-300, and I was like, well, I could buy something for myself, or it's my friend's birthday. And so I remember I like bought him a sword and like some other shit. But I remember just that feeling of giving him that sword, or
You
just
bought him a sword.
I bought him a sword. I bought him a whole katana. It was like, dude, yeah, dude. No, it's a badass katana. It's red. It's do you know what Damascus is?
The city?
No, okay. So Damascus is it's like a pattern on metal, but that's besides the point. It's just like this dope ass pattern, sword, everything is badass. I remember I bought it for him, and just that initial feeling of buying it, like the best feeling ever. I got such a big head about it. I was like, oh my god. Like I wasn't telling myself I was like a good person, but I'm like, just doing that for him, it felt so much better and just blew all my problems out of the roof. I was like,
Yeah.
this just feels like so good, just like doing this for him.
Speaking of swords, you've taken about 7 bathroom breaks.
2.
Sure.
Promise. I saw that sword over there.
I
was eyeing it down.
Cool. I'm curious to get your take on number 3. Only the size of your heart matters.
I think that's pretty true. I don't really have any disagreements about that. I think especially in life when you are just kind of like, say you have a job or something. I think the size of your heart towards that job, because you can hate that job and you don't really do anything about it. But say you like really love that job. I think that if you really do like that job, then you could prosper in it. And I also think just like anything in your life, let's talk about lifting for a second. So
We haven't talked about that yet
haven't
tonight.
talked about it, yeah. So I think, especially lifting, because a lot of people, they don't like lifting. They just want the result. And there's this one quote, I don't know who it's from, but it goes, the man who loves to walk will walk further than the man who just wants to get to the destination. And so I think that's really true in life, because there's a lot of people that they go to the gym, but they don't really love going there. They just want to go there so they can look good. But it's the people who really
Which is so strange.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
love every second that I'm in
know.
the pound.
it's good.
You know what the pound is?
I do not.
The place of ultimate natural development.
The goals.
POUND. You remember that one.
I will.
What is
The
it?
pound. POUND. The place of ultimate natural development.
Yeah,
The
baby.
pound. I like it. But yeah, I think it's just like
That was a
however
good
much.
pound, by the
yeah,
way.
that was a good pound.
Yeah,
I like it. I'll remember it. Yeah, I think it's just however much you're willing to put into it, that's how much you're going to get out. And if your heart is bigger for it, then you'll definitely succeed for it. So yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, the size of your heart is the only thing that matters, or however it was.
So I journaled about this one.
Oh, really?
Because I was stuck on it for a little bit, and then I listened to his commencement speech, and the thoughts that I came up with is that by chasing difficulty, when difficulty comes our way, we'll already have a resiliency and a tolerance built up to it. So you and me both do things that we don't necessarily want to do every day. The example, I just gave this example last night, so if you're hearing this 2 episodes in a row, I apologize, but it was a light bulb moment for me, and I was in the gym, and I was doing squats, and I was on rep 4 or 5, and it really started to burn and to hurt. And I was thinking, okay, I'll just do one more. And so I got back up to the top, and then I was thinking, what's the whole point that I'm here, though? Like, why am I giving up?
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts a little bit. I should probably stop. That's the opposite mindset of what I have. You know, if my legs are still working, I should keep pushing. Another example is at the end of every workout, if time allows, I'll go in the sauna for 20 minutes. I'll set a timer, and I don't even look at the clock until that buzzer rings. And so I'm doing things that I don't necessarily want to do that are hard. You do the same. Do you feel like when a difficult situation has come your way in the last 6 to 12 months, you dealt with it more efficiently than you would have if you were not doing track powerlifting and going to the gym?
Definitely. I think I heard this one guy say you're going to have unnecessary difficulties in your life, and that's why you need to do things that, or you need to purposefully do things that are difficult. And so I really think that's true because, you know, If I didn't lift, I'm still kind of a pussy, okay? But if I
You are
didn't
not
lift,
a pussy.
no, like in some aspects of my life, I'm definitely a pussy.
Like
But
what?
it's like confidence wise, I would say, like just being confident.
Do you think you're not confident?
Not all the time, no. Like sometimes I will be, but there are also other aspects of my life I will not. Like new things, you know? Like it's just getting into new things I won't be as confident. But I think I would be less confident if I wasn't already like proud of myself for doing something.
When
Like,
was the last time you felt like you were at your lowest confidence?
lowest confidence? Actually, when I got a haircut, dude. I remember it was so.
When
it
was
sounds
this?
Stupid. This was last Tuesday during spring
The same
break.
night that you were walking around at 3 a.m.
Yeah, or that might have been.
You
on
had a
Monday.
lot happen that day, my
dude,
friend.
I had a long spring break. It was crazy. No, my friend made me get my hair cut. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, damn. I remember she looked at me and goes, wow, you look like a 12-year-old boy. And I was like, shit, dude. Like,
No, you don't.
I don't. I know she's just messing with me, but I was like, fuck. Because I really liked my hair. You saw it. It was really long. I had like a little mullet going.
To be honest, I'm going to be 110% transparent and genuine with you right now. We are both wearing hats so often that I didn't notice.
Okay, good. Yeah, but no, it was just like, yeah, no, I just missed my hair, and then I was like, fuck.
Is it that much shorter? Did he take off that much?
No, the top's still like the same. It's just the sides and back. They're kind of just like
Lift
yeah,
up the
trimmed
sides
up.
real quick.
Yeah.
It's basically the same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it was kind of weird. Like you said, I was wearing a hat most of the time too. So,
But I've seen it without a hat too, and
Yeah.
well, you look
yeah,
fine, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
welcome.
But yeah, no, that's probably my lowest. Yeah, I think that would probably be my lowest moment of confidence.
Because
in
of
the
her
past
comment, or why?
year. No, I just didn't like my haircut. As stupid as it sounds, I was just like, oh, fuck this, dude. Like, my hair looks stupid. And so,
That's
yeah.
how I felt when I started balding.
Yeah, just bald. I know. I was like, maybe I should just buzz it. Like, who cares?
If you ever want to do, you can take off the
Yeah, I
main
was about to say,
portion,
you
and then
give
if you
me-
want me just to do a quick 3-minute,
Uh-huh.
I got you.
Dude, if you give me your beard, I'll give you my hair.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Because you're 15.
Yeah, it'll look cool.
It'll look cool. I'm not disagreeing. It would look cool.
It would look awesome.
You'd look
dude.
great. Do you know a guy at the gym at Bee Cave named Milo? He's a redhead. I think he's probably
I've probably seen
18
him.
or 19, so a couple years older than you. He wears stringer tanks. He's like big guy for his age.
I've probably seen him before.
Anyway, I've never met this guy in my life. And the other day just walked by me and he's like, dude, you're a fucking Viking.
You're a Viking.
And it made my day. I
Yeah.
was so happy.
I think I said that about your beard too. I'm like, dude, it's like a Viking beard.
You
Like,
probably said it
yeah,
at some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. Life's not fair. Drive on.
Exact, dude. Fuck, what was it? So remember how I was telling you about how I signed up for like that motivational quote thing on my phone?
Yep.
I think I got this one quote. It said everyone has a sad story. Stop being a bitch, and so I can agree with that one because here's the thing: you can go through. I think especially mental pain more than physical. Like a lot of people will go through mental like struggles and mental problems, and that kind of stops them from doing stuff like. Say if a girl broke up with you, you're probably going to feel like shit and you don't want to go to the gym. But I think if you really persist through that and you do go to the gym, I think you'll be a better person for it. And I also think, I like to say just fuck your feelings, dude. Because feelings don't really, sure, maybe you can feel good, you can feel bad, but that doesn't matter. You should just be able to, like, do what you want to do, despite your feelings. And so, yeah, I think I can get behind that.
I'm going to take it even one step further. Here's my not so hot take on this one. I would say it's even more importantly than just driving on that the unfairness of life is what turns that butter knife into a blade that you can do battle with.
Yeah.
I heard a quote, "There's not one thing in my life that I see now as pure advantage that doesn't have a dark side."
Okay.
You ever heard that one?
I have not.
I'll say it again one more time for you.
Thank you.
And for y'all. There's not one thing in my life that I see now as pure advantage that doesn't have a dark side. So if you think about what you're really good at, what you're naturally talented at, what you're gifted at, and if you think a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, was that a gift of mine? What did it take to develop that gift? I think a lot of my gifts, my self-confidence, my ability to influence other people, giving people hope, what we were talking about earlier. It took like a lot of life being unfair for me to develop the qualities that I can now turn around and give back to the people within my inner circle and hopefully give them hope and give them confidence and whatnot. So when life's not fair, drive on. That's an interesting take, but I think even a more strategic take would be when life's not fair, embrace it.
Yeah.
Like invite that in. If you're feeling life isn't fair and that's making you feel like you're either a victim or depressed or anxious or angry or sad or stressed, whatever, invite that in, meditate on it, journal it, and really think about what can I do to take the situation of life's not being fair and use it to sharpen my blade so that it works to my advantage in a month or in a year.
I think I could go both ends because there's definitely been times in my life, especially I want to say the first year I started lifting, but it's mainly for football. I've had lots of different motivations for lifting, but not my first motivation, but this is, at the time, I was mainly just lifting for football. I remember I was like, football ended and I was just kind of lifting on my own. I'm like, God, like I kind of like look like shit. I don't want to keep doing this. But then I just kind of like shut up and I kept doing it. And it kind of paid off. I was able to get better. I was able to persist. But then there's also things in my life where I'm like, I'll stop and I'll dwell on it for a bit and I'll think about it and I'll think about how I can make it better. And I do think dwelling on that for a second and being able to, I don't know, just kind of like figure it out. I think that can also help too. So yeah, I think you can go both ends on that one.
This one's sort of along the same lines. Failure can make you stronger.
Yes. Yeah. I think failure...
Here's an easy gym example or a gym analogy. What do we work towards?
Failure every single set.
Every set, every workout. Isn't that the goal?
Yeah, I think
if it's not a warm-up set, if it's not calibrating what weight am I going to do today, your goal is to, I'm going literally, you go till failure.
Every ounce, No, I also think like in life too, because even though it might not benefit you now, like your failure, even looking back on it, like that can help you too. Just like thinking about, like even when you just have a moment to sit down and think and you think about failures in the past, you can learn from those and you can kind of like make life lessons out of them. And so yeah, I think failure can definitely benefit you.
What's your biggest goal in 2023?
2023 biggest goal. Jeez. I would say deadlifting 405, but I have some bigger goals than that. I think my biggest goal overall, jeez. You know what? Maybe to get a job. I would like to have a job. Not necessarily like to have a job. I think getting a job would be good. It's hard when you ask biggest goal in 2023 because I have a lot of lifetime goals. I remember.
Start saying them.
Just start saying them?
Give me like 12. Go.
12? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. I need to get a girlfriend. I really want to meet Seabum. I feel like that'd be cool. If I idolize him so much, that'd be cool if I saw him. Let's see. A really big goal I had, not necessarily a problem anymore, but it was to bench 2 plates, squat 3 plates, deadlift 4 plates. Pretty much almost there except for the deadlift. That was a really big goal. Let's see what else. I think like to start my own business. That would be a really cool goal. Like earning a steady income, something like that. I think another big goal would just be like whether it be like a track meet, a powerlifting meet, I want to get like first place in something or succeed in something. Like know that I'm like the best overall. Like whether it be something small or big. Another goal. Jeez, I don't know. What are some of your goals? Maybe I can get some inspiration from that.
So there is a statistic I heard when I was walking things from my apartment to the dumps, from my apartment to the dumps, and I was listening to a podcast, and they threw out a statistic that of all podcasts, 90% stop at episode 3, and of those, another 90% stop at episode 20. So my biggest goal in 2023 is to get to 21 episodes. Ironically, guess what week number 21 is?
Is it this week?
Nope.
No?
It's the weekend of my birthday. It's in late July.
Okay.
I did not plan it like that. It's completely coincidence. I was looking at the launch date for the podcast. I was looking at a few different dates and just strategizing through the rest of the year. And I have a device coming that's going to replace this box right here. And one of the things that the device will do is it will allow me to have up to 6 people at once.
Ooh, okay.
And so what I would like to do for episode 21, this is like a huge goal. And I honestly, like, if it happens, we're recording it, it's on camera, you're listening to it. This is the first time I'm saying it out loud. I would love to have episode number 21 be live with the date and the time announced, so people can actually call in and get recorded with us and talk to us live as we're recording the podcast. And I would like it to be a mix of local Austin comedians and hockey players.
That would be hockey players? You like hockey?
Yep.
Yeah.
So my goal is it'll be me and 1 or 2 comedians and 1 or 2 hockey players, and there's going to be 4 of us the night before my birthday filming 4-hour live episode number 21, where you can call in and where there's not going to be any topic, any subject. We're just going to be shooting the shit, drinking, hanging out, having fun, eating some food on camera, on mic, in this kitchen right here. That's my biggest goal of this year.
I like that. Big dreams. That's good.
Another one of my goals is that I was listening to an interview with about an actor named Sam Elliott. Have you heard of him?
Sounds familiar. I don't think I do know.
Neither here nor there. The way they describe this man is that he just treats people with a heart of gold. That everyone he comes across, he treats with kindness, empathy. He trains them, he helps them, he lifts them up, he tries to serve them, he tries to give to them, and that he just has a heart of gold. And when I lay down in my grave one day, I want, whether it's one person there or 20 or 200, I don't care what the number is. I don't care how much money I'm leaving behind. I just want people to say David was a genuinely kind person. Because honestly, man, when I look at myself, I don't think I'm that kind of a person. I don't see that in myself. So that's a huge thing that I'm working on, is how can I be more kind to people in my life?
Yeah. Well, you're definitely very kind. You invited me here, gave me food. That's the thing we were talking about. You know, you got to see it in yourself. But yeah, I do think I would like to be like a kinder person. But something I would really like is just being like I would really like to just be like really stoic about everything, like girlfriend or not, no matter how much I feel about some certain thing. I wish I could just forget about it, forget how I feel, and just do what I know I need to do. I think that would be really cool if I was just like.
I think you're already doing that.
Not enough though.
How could it be more?
Well, okay, so
not to limit yourself, but like you're pushing yourself. Think about your schedule. You leave your house at 6:20 a.m. and you don't get home until 8 p.m. and you're falling asleep with cold water pouring on you.
But it's even in my free time. Like I'll get out of the shower and then I know I need to fold these clothes or like do this laundry. I just lay in bed for 10 minutes. I don't want to do any of that. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I just got up and I'm like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. Like just kind of like bounce to what I need to do, and then I'm like, okay, now I can go to bed. But instead I kind of I procrastinate a lot, especially with schoolwork too. That's something I'm very bad about. I don't really do. Or it's not that I don't do schoolwork, I just prioritize everything over it. And I think
especially history
and chemistry, dude. No, but I'll focus on everything else besides schoolwork. And so I know I have enough time to do all of it. I just kind of lollygag and do whatever until I'm like, oh, well, I guess I don't have enough time. I'll forget about it and do it some other time. So yeah, I'm pretty productive right now, but I think I could be 10 times more productive if I just forgot about my feelings and just did everything I need to do.
Okay, so I have a question for you, because I really don't know how many teenagers I'm going to have on this show. What's dating like in 2023 for a 15-year-old? Because you did mention getting a girlfriend is on top of mind for you.
Yeah.
Are you on apps? Do you try to meet people organically?
I'm not on apps.
Okay, so you're not on apps.
Yeah.
How do you? What? I'll just leave it at that. What has dating looked like in the last 6 to 12 months for you?
For nothing. At all, nothing. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because that's giving me more time to focus on myself. But I would like to have a significant other in life, because I think having another person could bring a lot. But I also don't think it's necessarily the worst thing that I don't, because it's just kind of I get to live and be me. But yeah, dating as a teenager is pretty weird, because initially going into it, you both kind of know, you're like, well, this isn't gonna last forever. So you kind of just try to have as much fun as you can.
How do you know that?
But exactly, that's the thing, because sometimes it does last forever. But
my brother and his wife, they've been together since they were 19 and 20.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they met when they were in preschool.
Jesus. Yeah, no, it's things like that.
So
too.
I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
And they are still married with 3 boys to this day.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily dating. My best friend, I met him 6 years ago. I've also met other people 6 years ago I'm not even friends with anymore, but he persisted through it. But I think it would just be cool if I had someone I like connected with so much that they're just like in my life like forever. Like something like that would be really cool. So yeah. But
Do you proactively seek a girlfriend, or is it more of just a, like, if it happens, you will act on it, if that makes sense?
yeah. No, that's the thing too, because like I said, I'm not too confident, especially not around women. So I kind of let them come to me. But I think given the opportunity, I kind of will. I'm not just going to sit there, you know, but I will like kind of like strive for them. But I don't really go out and I don't like add a bunch of girls on Snapchat and like, hey, hit me up. I'm like, if I meet someone, like I'll meet them.
I'm curious, if you found someone, how are we doing on time? Are we good?
No, we're good. I keep getting phone calls for some reason.
Well, because you're Dylan Kramer.
Yeah, I'm Dylan Kramer.
And you're MIA. Yeah. I'm wondering if I can give you a challenge.
Okay.
Have you ever, before I get to the challenge, when you're at school, school is back in person, right?
Yes.
You're there 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When was the last time that you saw a girl, a lady, and you found her attractive, and you just walked up to her and said something? Not even about her looks, just about anything at all.
Well, there was this one time, 6-7 months ago. I remember my friends were like, "Dude, you need to be more confident." And so there was this girl. I didn't even like her. And okay, let me give you some context.
Wait, let me recap the story so far.
Okay.
I was with my friends, and they were like, dude, you have no confidence. And then there is this girl, and I don't even like her. And that's how the story starts.
Dude, it gets way worse. Okay, so we went to go watch the Minions movie, and we thought it'd be funny to wear...
You and who?
It was me and three other guys.
Okay.
It was me, my best friend, like 2 other of his friends. And so we went to go watch the Minions movie, and I was like... It'd be funny if we all wore suits. So it was like me and this other dude, we wore a suit, and then me and my other friend, my other friend and his friend, they wore like Hawaiian shirts. But I was wearing a full tuxedo, okay? And they're like, dude, you need to walk up to that girl and get her Snapchat. And so she was like walking away already. And I literally like ran up to her. And I was like, can I get your Snapchat? And I was so unconfident. And she looks at me. She like looks me up and down because I'm wearing a whole ass suit
At the theater?
And she was, yeah. And
on like a Wednesday night?
Dude, it was probably like a Tuesday. It was in the middle of summer. And this was at like 9 p.m. too. So you didn't see me coming, you know, full black suit. And she was like, sure. And I was like, okay. But that was probably the last time I went up to a girl and was like, yeah. Well, usually when I'm at school, I don't know, I'm kind of like doing my own thing. I don't really focus on, oh, that girl's cute. Like, walk up to her. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't. But, yeah, I think I will. I'll promise you this. I will be as confident around women as I am around you right now. I can do that for you.
That's a bold promise.
That's a bold promise. I'm a bold man,
I'm not sure how
David.
confident you're being. You're on water bottle number 7.
Yeah, well, I'm not nervous anymore. I just like to drink water.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
No, you are confident. When you told me you were nervous, I was surprised because it's just me.
I know.
We just have microphones.
No, I was just like something about being in front of cameras. I'm like, oh, like kind of scary. It's not even that. It's like everything you say or do. It's out there forever.
The whole world is gonna know.
The whole world. Everyone's gonna know. Yeah, I know. Even if you like post a stupid video, what if it blows up and you're like, shit?
You know what though? Oh, here's a challenge.
Okay.
This could be a fun one, but you'd have to be strategic about it so it doesn't come off as cocky. Here's the thought that went through my head. After this episode publishes, if you saw someone attractive and you were like, you walked up to them and said something along the lines of, this is so corny. I'm already regretting that I'm going down this path, but whatever, it's too late. If you were to say something like, hey, did I see you at the Gold's Gym the other day? If you'd like to listen to a great podcast, I was a guest on David's Saturday Night Sit Back. I don't even know the name of my own podcast. But you were like, hey, I was on DSNSB. If they want to ask what the full acronym is for, you can tell them. And it's a podcast about like fitness and mindset and motivation.
Okay.
You should listen to it. And if you like what I hear, you can find me on Instagram as Smelly Footless Hobo.
Yeah.
Or whatever your
I'm
handle
gonna change it
is.
to Smelly Footless Hobo now. It's gonna be Smelly Footless Hobo.
How many high schoolers are on podcasts? Not
That's
a ton. So I'm trying to think, is there a way that you could slip it into normal conversation without coming off as a cocky asshole?
Yeah.
That's what you would have to be careful about. We'll have to work on that. Next strategy is you must dare greatly, which basically means dive headfirst into something with no reservations. What's the biggest risk that you think you've taken where you just dove headfirst into it without giving it a second thought recently?
Well, I can tell you something I was scared to do, not necessarily a giant risk,
Yeah.
but
Tell us.
So, whenever I went to go join powerlifting, all I needed to do was go talk to the powerlifting coach, and dude, I was scared because I don't know this coach, and my friend was also telling me, he's like, this coach is known for like messing with you. He'll be like, you'll say something and you'll be like, what'd you say? And you're like, and just like stuff like that. But I remember I was like terrified to talk to this coach. And so all I needed to do was like walk in his classroom. And I remember it was like a week straight, I would like go up and I saw that he had a class. And I was like, shit. And then I remember one day he didn't have a class. So I just took a deep breath. I opened his door. And I'm like, hey, are you like this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I introduced myself, and I'm like, I'd like to
What'd
join
you say?
powerlifting.
What'd you say?
Yeah, dude, no.
You opened his door and said what?
I was like, hey, are you like I won't say his name, but I was like, hey, are you coach whatever? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I like introduced myself, and I was like, I would like to join powerlifting. He was like, okay, cool. And he like got my name and everything, and it was fine. But I was just like scared to do that. It wasn't really like a giant risk for me, but yeah, that was probably the thing that I kind of took the biggest leap on, because what I could have done is I could have just not done anything, which I like to think that not doing anything it's a bigger decision than doing something sometimes. It's like inaction. It's like, yeah, you know. It's like worse than action sometimes.
It can be.
It can be.
Agreed.
Yeah. You mind if I take a bathroom break real quick?
Take a bathroom
Cool.
break.
I appreciate
Be very
that.
careful of the camera.
Yeah.
It's a sensitive machine. Dude, you fuck. Oh, man.
All right.
Stand up to bullies.
Stand up to bullies. Yeah, I could.
Have you ever been bullied?
Like on a very small scale. I've never been like hardcore bullied, but like.
Are you the bully?
No.
You don't seem like it.
I don't like. Yeah. If anything, I'm like. Yeah, I feel like I could be blind to certain things.
Put that phone away, boy.
Sorry. My friend just said I need to go to the gym. I thought it was
That's
something
his
important.
emergency?
I'm sorry, no, that was stupid. I don't know what that was. No, that was my other friend. She's texting me and she's like, I need to go to the gym. And I'm like, what? Sorry. Okay. No, yeah. So I never really been bullied before. Like, people say small shit that'll get to me.
So
but
let's
I've
say
been like majorly bullied.
Let's say
Yeah.
someone who admires you. You're a sophomore.
Yes.
So let's say
Yeah.
there's like another freshman or a sophomore, maybe even a junior, because you're a big guy. Like, you're tall, you're big. So let's say someone in your school came to you and they said, Dylan, I'm getting bullied. What would your response be to that?
I'd probably ask them why are they getting bullied, and then I would try to solve it from there.
Let's just say that they are terrible at sports, and whenever they get picked, they always suck, no matter what the sport is in PE, and kids make fun of them for being inadequate, small, a pussy, a bitch, never making a score, never adding anything to the team. They're not sports oriented. What would you say to that?
I think I would tell them to, first of all, not listen to those kids, because they probably don't even know what the hell they're doing. And then just to focus on yourself and become the best person you could possibly be. And most importantly, not listen to them. Don't listen to haters. Just whatever they're saying, just don't listen to them at all. And you just got to focus on you. And then once you do start becoming better, then you'll look down on them instead of them looking down on you. Just, yeah. Basically, just don't listen to them and be the best you can. So, yeah. I think that'd be good. Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
I think that'd be sufficient. I don't know.
It's hard to say if you've never been in the situation. Okay. Last one. never, ever quit.
Yes. Yeah. No, dude, Steve Harvey once said, once you quit, it's all over. And I agree with that 100%, because no matter what situation you're in, you could just be losing, like, just every single day. But if you quit, it's never going to happen. Never. And you just have to have no quit in you. And I agree. I stand by that statement so much. You can, like, say you even take a hiatus, like, just as long as you don't quit, like, completely quit. Like, you cannot quit at all. I think quitting is awful. Just literally, not saying it will happen if you don't quit, but it sure as hell won't happen if you do quit. Like, it will never happen if you quit. So you just never, ever, ever quit. Yeah.
I feel like you started this podcast and I was like, give me a Dylan quote. And you were like, I don't know. And then I was like, give me any quote. And you were like, we were recording, happy as could be. And you took a phone call and just like fucking raced out of the room.
It was important.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't.
Yeah.
You were just like, bam, I'm gone. And then you came back, and I feel like you are ultra focused, just pulling quotes out of the air.
Dude, no.
You like some sort of on switch, just.
No, my friend freaked
Clicked.
me out, so I got like my adrenaline pumping.
It's just funny how like when you needed that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
To be, I'm
Before I
present
wasn't-
now. I'm
yeah.
in the moment. I'm here.
Yeah, I wasn't like not tired, but now I'm like up. Or like I wasn't tired, but like I was just like here, you know? Now I'm like yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
You gave me some of your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Open a business, deadlifting 405. That one's easy. You're going to get that.
Probably,
You'll do that. Get a job. That's fine. You'll get that.
Yeah.
Getting a girlfriend. I'm not downplaying it, but you'll do that. That's easy. Meeting Sebum. That can happen. I've met many people that I've wanted to meet, and will continue to do so. Start a business, earn steady income. Do you have any goals that you'd be willing to share with us that are daydreams, that seem impossible, that seem like it's literally just a figment of your imagination, but you don't think it would ever be reality?
I thought what if every childhood dream I ever wanted like came true? What if I like
Like what?
right
What's
out
one of
high
those
school-
dreams?
Okay, let me walk you through it. So what if I became like a Navy SEAL, okay? It was like crazy, like just like hardcore. And then like I get out and then I become like this badass bodybuilder, win like 10 Olympias, okay? And then after that, become like a billionaire. And then, you know, my friends live good. And then like, yeah. So those three things, like crazy. Like if I'm thinking like really high, like if I'm like going above the clouds right now, that would probably be what it would be. But yeah, maybe like a few more things in there, but that's about it.
Okay, so I told you I had a couple quotes for you.
Okay.
Here's the one I'm most excited to share
I'm
with
excited
you.
too, dude.
And I don't even know who the author is or the speaker is.
The best quotes are the ones you don't know who they're from.
I mean, if we dropped it in Google, I'm sure it would show
Yeah.
instantly, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so I want you to have this image in your head. You're a Navy SEAL. You're a bodybuilder. You're winning your 10th Olympia. You're a billionaire. Or you have some large amount of money. All right, close your eyes for this one.
Okay.
I want you just to listen. Your phone's off? You're not going to run out of the room again, are you?
Yeah, I promise. I
All
won't.
right, I need like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Here we go. Eyes closed. That image in your head. I know of no better life purpose than attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Dude, that's real. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. No, yeah. What the hell?
I hope you chase the impossible, man.
Dude, I will.
Because what you just said isn't even that. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
All right. let's wrap this thing up.
All right.
Final thoughts.
On what? I need some background.
No, I'm asking you. Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I would just say, you can't do something for yourself, do it for someone else.
I like that. That's been your reoccurring theme
Yeah.
this episode. You have been Dylan Kramer. I have been David O'Clair. Dylan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Thank you for being here. A couple of announcements real quick. If you like this episode, guys, please, 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 please like the episode, leave a review, share it with your friends, subscribe for when new episodes come out. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you want, you can follow David Saturday Night Sitback on Instagram. It's just one big word. David Saturday Night Sitback. If you're a mega fan and you really, really, really want to support us, go to patreon.com/sitbackwithdavid. And if you happen to be local to Austin or you will be visiting Austin, email me, sitbackwithdavid@yahoo.com. We can talk about you being a guest on the show. If you want to get a hold of Dylan, you can find him on Instagram with the handle.
Is it Footless Hobo? I think it's Dylan Kramer 711.
Oh, God. Hang on. I got you. I got you, dog.
Don't worry, I got this.
Dylan.
It's either Footless
Footless_hobo.
Is it just Footless
Dylan
Hobo?
Kramer. There's only one picture of it. It's him wearing his stunner shades.
Yes.
So there's not much going on there. So if you, yeah, the Footless Hobo. Everyone, thank you so